Hello, my presentation will be in English. I am not that good at Estonian, sadly. So today I will cover this ArcGIS credit management and also the new features with ArcGIS notebooks. So the credits are basically when you are using ArcGIS, most of you already know that you are consuming some type of credits, and it's sometimes it's a problem to we are going out of budget or something, so it is possible to manage in a way that you can totally have a limit, and you can check where are the places where if there is more credits going on something, or if you are not using the thing, you can delete it. So there are several ways. So I will just directly jump to a demo. So with a script, Python script, you can very easily, like very small line of script, you can already manage the whole thing. So initially you need to just import the necessary libraries, and you can also have all the guidelines in the developer, ArcGIS developer in ArcGIS API for Python. Then, for example, if you are having one participant who is not, for example, using some reason the account, or if you have a colleague who left the organization, for example, you can delete his account, and you can transfer all the contents to another account, because the thing is, if you disable it, it's costing you credits. And if you have a very big group of people somehow not using the ArcGIS anymore and you want to remove it, in that case you need to put an Excel file and bring it. So in this case, generally I just showed the one participant's content deleting, and you just need to log in with the script. So you put some user passwords, and it will already logged in. And then, for example, here I just use search. Like you can see that GIS content and search, and you can already find what are the contents it has. So I basically uploaded some demo data, like test data 1, 2, and in the next script, and I also found all these scripts basically available directly in this ArcGIS developer, ArcGIS API for Python. So you can just write these comments, and it will automatically delete all the contents, and you are saving these credits. Next thing is, if you are already admin and you want to check like what are the contents you have, you can also use the same thing. And here you will see that, for example, in our this trainings admin account, for example, we have so many things. You can see with this script, for example, and with admin module, you can check, for example, like GIS admin and credits. This is just very one small script, and you can already see how much credits left there. And for new user, we had a limit that it's like 10 credits only, and you can also check the default limit. You can set like this one tool sentence of scripts with ArcGIS API for Python. You can very easily do it. For example, you can monitor that this credit uses, and then you just set the time frame to week, month, or years, for example. Then if you want, if you have a very big list of people and you want to change the credit limit, you can also put a list instead of this username. And or if you have little amount of people, you can just put this username and allocate the number of credits. So it's quite easy to write, and also we have all the guidelines available in this developers website. And then the next, I will just shortly show the developer website as well. Okay, I think I will move and I will later show it. So the next topic which I'm gonna cover is the ArcGIS notebooks. So the whoever are working with the scripts, or if you have already seen or used ArcGIS notebooks, you already know. But if you are new to it, you may have the question that why we are even using the ArcGIS notebook. So the reason is it's already having all the libraries and everything which we are using with GIS integrated here. You can very easily bring it on your script. You don't need to write so many lines of script here. And it has embedded this ArcGIS API for Python. It has ArcPy inside it, so it's very easy to manage. Why the next script is not coming? Okay, and the ArcGIS notebooks have different capabilities or user privileges. You can find ArcGIS notebooks integrated with ArcGIS Pro. But this ArcGIS Pro version is only the standard one. It has three type of capabilities. The standard one only has the ArcGIS API for Python, which is quite good. And then the second one is in ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise, which is the hosted notebooks basically. And this covers the standard as well as the advanced possibilities. And advanced is basically covering the ArcGIS API for Python and all the standard capabilities, but with that it also has the possibility of using ArcPy inside it. And the third possibility is really useful for those who are planning to do some heavy computing power needed or something like that, then you can just choose this advanced GPU capacity. So then it will give you some scope to use this GPU or processing power on the online account, or you can also do it with your portal. Like you can try to manage, you can have the possibility to embed it in your portal, so or enterprise account. So this is very good if you are doing, for example, some machine learning or deep learning testing, then you can select it. So I will jump to the demo and I will explain the things more clear. So for example, I will go first with this the Pro version, and another very good capacity of ArcGIS notebook is you can test it every line of script and test it immediately with the cell by cell. So if you have, like, for example, very small line of script, you can just run it and you can see that if it's failing or not. So you can go through every sentence or every line of the script. And another good capability of ArcGIS notebook is you can have your presentation embedded with your scripts. Like if you are going to show your team members, you can have all the images, you can have the backgrounds, you can have some these charts as well, and basically it is a good way to have the scripts. At the same time you can have your presentation, so you don't need to make the presentation separately if you want. And you can also add some links and everything basically. So now I will switch to the online one. So in the online one, what I was saying that you can have different capabilities. So if you go to the settings, if you create a notebook and you go to the settings, here in this notebook runtime option, you can choose, for example, you can see this GPO support, then advanced and standard, and you can also see that different versions. It depending on your computer, you can decide which one you need at that moment. And then I will go to the notebook directly. So this is a blank notebook, and in case if someone is trying and if you don't see this this bar added here, then please save your notebook, because sometimes it comes after saving it. So then if you are very new to scripting and you just don't know what to do, then you can just do very easily, like you can add basically, for example, I am going to add this one. So I just clicked add, and it's automatically bringing this whole script thing that, and if I run it, sorry. Yes, you need to first run the other one and then you need to run this one. Yes. And for example, you can also select from where you want. You can select your from your organization, from Living Atlas, for example. And for example, I'm adding this building footprints, and you can just run it, and you don't need to go back and download and do all the process. Next is analysis. So it has so many embedded analysis things what we have already in GIS or online. You just need to, for example, I'm just randomly selecting just this, and you need to just basically add some places you need to just change your path. That's the maximum thing you need to do. Now the next thing is code snippet. So you may work with a team, and if your colleagues have already made some code and you just want some specific part, or you are taking some other person's script, then you don't need to go whole script. You can just share your scripts. For example, I want to share this part with my colleague. So you just need to add and then add a code snippet, title, for example, demo 2. Then you need to select a library. You have created it. Demo, and then you need to save it, and then later you can add it always. You can see I have already 2 demos, for example, and if I want, I can just add it, and you can see I already have it. There is also, if I want to share it with my colleagues, I can just change the sharing settings. I can just put it inherit, then my colleagues can also access it. And there is a big resource that ESRI already have so many embedded code snippets, so you can check, for example, so many things. I am gonna randomly select from this one. So this one, for example, the example I was showing previously, that checking online credit for a specific user, I just added, and you can see that it's giving me the script. So you can, if you are a beginner, you can already have so much guideline, you can just start using it. And also in ArcGIS developer, you have all the documentation written, so you have more guided steps. Then next is you can upload your files. If you want some specific files, for example, I go here, then I have the possibility to upload it, but I'm not right now uploading anything because I have already. And here, for example, I was once adding something, and if I go, I can just again just click the add button, and it's already adding me all the addresses and everything. Now the next is this task scheduler. So sometimes you need to automate the process or you want it to run repeatedly. In this case, you can just create a task scheduler. For example, I am making something like demo. And you can decide that from when it should begin, and repetition should be a month, day, week. Then it should be something like how many interval. You can also customize it. Then you can also customize it like this. And then you can create it. I'm not creating here. And it will repetitively run, and if it fails, it will send you an email, and it will show you that where exactly it is failing. So that's a very good use case. And then you can create snapshots. Snapshots is basically if you decide that you want to, your script is running perfectly, but you want to do something testing and everything, so you don't need to make a separate copy. You can just create a snapshot. For example, I create a snapshot. So I've created it. Now if I make some changes, and then it will be definitely error. So then I want to go back to my previous version. So I will just write restore. And you can see that this error part is gone, and just the previous step, till the previous step, you have the script. So you can always save snapshots, and you can go back if you want. So it's basically this version controlling also embedded here automatically. And the last thing is you have the possibility to share with organization, you have the possibility to share with your colleagues, and also in enterprise version, you have the scope to make it as a web tool, and you can share it with your colleague. Like if you made a workflow and you want to make it as a web tool, you can make a web tool and share it with your colleague who is not gonna do the scripting, so they can just use it. And the rest is like just the information. You can always change it, and this is the workflow. So I will go back to this. Okay, so in this, where is this developer edition? And here you have all the developer documentations, and you have some sample notebooks as well. You can check, you can go through, you have all the guided steps, so the scripting will become a little easier. And also, I have some Python scripting course. If you have more questions or you have more customized expectation, you can also contact me. And if you have any question, also ask me.